So this is our 5th clip with Dylan Vihan. He's just got a really beautiful way of capturing nature and being immersed in it. Yeah, he's just got a magical touch. Dylan's always been our go-to guy because he's got this affinity with nature, and we share that with, you know, our song themes, and we want to bring that to life with these videos. So with Breakaway, he was the natural guy to get this thing done.
When it comes to our video clips, Jake usually comes up with the ideas of where we should be playing at, where the storyline should be shot. He always chooses the hardest places.
Jake told us this crazy idea. I mean, he's always got some wild idea about where the film clip's going to be, and he came up to us and he told us we're going to be playing on top of this waterfall, this massive cliff is going to be like right beside us. And I didn't really understand the scope of what he was talking about until I turned up to Minion Falls.
With all our clips, we always want to step it up. Bigger, better, more epic, more production value. So last time for Divine, we played on a waterfall, or behind a waterfall in a cave, which is really hard to beat. But this time around, we thought, let's go higher, let's go bigger. So we looked at Minion Falls.
It's such an epic location. It's out in Nightcap National Park, which is out in the hills. You know, I've been there a few times before when I was younger, so it was really cool to be there, back there again, doing our clip right on the edge of the cliff, you know, with such an amazing background. And I think the location really suited the song because Breakaway, it's got such an epic sort of anthemic feel to it.
It being such a high tourist area, I had to apply with the national parks and do a nice big application and speak to the local rangers, and, you know, giving me tips on how to make this application go through and how to get it approved. And they were all so helpful, the National Parks and Wildlife. So we got approved for it.
4 AM again, we're back on another film clip.
I think we left Bangalore at about 3 o'clock in the morning. We had to be out at Minion Falls at 4 AM to start unpacking everything. The idea for that was we wanted to be on the edge of the cliff, ready to shoot for the sunrise. So we got there, you know, there was probably maybe 3 or 4 camper vans there, people sleeping, and we might have given them a nice little wake up when, you know, 5 or 6 cars rocked up. We started unloading all of our music gear.
So we're standing here on the top of Minion Falls, on a, I don't know, 100-meter cliff. It is almost 6 in the morning. We've been up since 3 in the morning. We've all had about 2 hours of sleep, and we're ready to do Breakaway.
Jesus, look at that cliff, Chuck. Would you just pan out there? Would you just pan out?
Playing so close to the cliff as well also plays in the back of your mind, having Caleb playing so close. You're jumping around, you're always thinking of don't fall over, don't fall back. There was one section where we were going through a take, and all of a sudden we were still playing and moving along, and then the drums just cut out. Turned around and Caleb, his China had almost fallen off the edge of the cliff, so yeah, it was a little worrying.
So we had this wild drone guy come out, and he was just kind of this loose dude. He had this drone, he was just kind of gung-ho at it. We had these crazy shoots lined up for him. We had this National Geographic shot where he would like start it off flying down the cliff face a little bit, and it would come up and it would fly over the top of us. That shot I'm really excited to see.
The generator that I picked up from my uncle, it was pretty old. We've borrowed it for every other clip that we've done, and it's been fine, but I think the generator just couldn't handle it. It was either too hot, or maybe it was just getting too old, but we don't know, and it just stopped working.
I don't know, it's just had its day.
All of our clips have used this one generator, and it just so happened to just conk out on this one.
We couldn't get it started again, and we were freaking out because we needed that to play the tracks and charge the laptops to dump all the footage and stuff like that. So
sound guy Chucky gladly went into Mullumbimby, picked us up a nice shiny new Makita generator, and it got us through the rest of the day.
So about a week after we finished recording the band shoot, Jake flew down to Victoria to head out into the mountains somewhere. It's about 2 hours out of Melbourne.
We wanted to capture a different vibe for this clip, so Victoria was the natural choice. Now we set off to find locations that had a different vibe to Byron Bay, locations that gave off, more of a northern hemisphere sort of feel. So for our first location, we went to Beach Forest, Californian redwood plantation. And these trees are so beautiful, they're massive, beyond your imagination. They're just so tall and they look fake, straight out of a movie. And when you walk inside, it's just so peaceful and quiet. And that was really nice for connecting the earth element. Day one, here we are, down in Victoria in the Beechwood Forest. We're standing among some Californian redwoods, these beautiful tall trees. And today we're shooting a sequence where the wizard Laxland is running through the forest, being chased by dementor looking figures, and he finds a staff. And the staff is laid upon the ground with a beautiful snake called Django. We needed a snake on location in the redwoods. We put out a call on Facebook, would anyone be willing to bring a snake out on location in Victoria? And surely enough, there were 5 or 6 people that submitted photos of their snakes. And we went with the first applicant, who was a 14-year-old boy named Mark, and he brought his dad out, and his snake was called Django.
Sunday morning I was looking at pictures of snakes, deciding which one we should use, and it was really crazy and nice to feel that kind of community spirit again, which we had for Earthwalker, and was really supportive and awesome.
This is Django. He's about 2.5 meters, I think. He's a coastal carpet python. I saw the post on Facebook and it said anybody in Victoria with a pet snake, and I thought, hey, I have one of those. So yeah, I thought, why not?
His acting was just brilliant, and it was really cool how the son and the father came there on location and worked together with the snake.
As always, it feels completely impossible and people are wrapping a snake around the staff, and I'm kind of freaked at the snake, and then slowly everything starts to kind of loosen up and the snake starts to get more and more interested in me, which is bad for me but good for the shot because it takes it in the right direction towards the camera. And then we just got the perfect shot of the snake coming over the crystal, and it was just, I think it was perfect.
For the second location, we went to Hopetoun Falls.
Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take this now.
Hopetoun Falls is this majestic waterfall, quite picturesque, the way it flows and falls, and the way the light hits the mist. And that was important to really connect with the water element with that one. Having the wizard come from the left and cast the staff into that waterfall. You can only look at a photo on the internet and say, is this going to work? But to actually make it happen, it was quite a challenging moment. And the camera was getting wet, so we had to pull it away, cover it up quickly and go for another take. And there I am sitting below the wizard, just out of shot, with some speakers of the music so he could sing along to the part. Quite a challenging, quite a powerful spot, and a very challenging spot to make that happen. And everyone's getting soaked and drenched, you got gear, just getting satched. So it was definitely the water element, and it was definitely conquered in that spot. The third location was Discovery Bay, and it is on the border of South Australia and Victoria. We chose the location for the fire element because of its barrenness and just the sun element really casting down just the harsh environment. We wanted to bring that to life in a post-apocalyptic vibe. So this desert plain was perfect, and it proved very, very hard to get to. But I think its production value and its beauty is really going to shine through and be a scene in the clip that's going to stay with people. It's going to be cool. So it was day 2, and we were on our way to shoot at Lockhart Gorge. We were coming around a bend, and I looked up, and an oncoming van had merged in across traffic and into our lane, and it side-on hit a little white rental car in front of us. This guy continued to come into, across our lane and basically hit Pease's side of the window. And Pease's head smacked into the window and actually grated along the whole way down the car. Pease and I, we got towed all the way to Apollo Bay in the opposite direction that the scene needed to take place at Lockhart Gorge. So we ended up in the middle of, the bottom of Victoria with no vehicle and no footage. So it was quite a rough day, and it really tested us all. For the fourth and final location for the element of wind and air, we chose Lockhart Gorge. Dylan found it by looking on Google Maps and trying to find a cliff that had an eastward view looking back and across the cliffs. A very challenging spot to find because you need to be out far enough on an outcrop to shoot backwards, as well as not having tourists and people involved. So, you know, he couldn't have picked a better spot. And Lockhart Gorge, it's in like the wildest weather belt. Literally in an hour you can have the biggest storm possible, and then an hour later it can be sunshine. I looked at the meteorology website the night before, and it said that a storm would hit at 10:30 a.m. So we knew that we would have to get up at 5 a.m. the next morning and get out there nice and early, get on the edge of this cliff and just go for gold and shoot off all the shots on the shot list as quick as we could in order to beat it before the storm. Sure enough, we were out there, and like clockwork, we were on the last few shots and we could see that storm just brewing out in the ocean. It was coming for us, the massive front sweeping in. I told Simon, the wizard, if you've got any powers right now, can you please tell that storm to chill and send it out to sea some more? And I kid you not, off shot, he had his staff there and he was doing his shamanic, wizard juju thing, and he was like pointing out and he was telling it, stay away, like for a bit, stay away. And the storm front, rather than coming in straight in a line, parallel line to us, it managed to turn like that so we could see the storm to the left of us just pissing down at 50 meters away, but straight ahead where it was coming for us was was deep. So we pulled off the last two shots, and the last shot was a Dementor scene, and they were rising up over the top. We were filming, it was just us, a little bunch out there. Rain hit, camera threw underneath our shirts, and we ran, and we were all so stoked because we got the shots in before the rain hit. And so Lockhart Gorge won, Team Breakaway won. We ended up nice tie. We beat the hard location, nailed it.
I smell bad flesh. You shall not pass. You shall not pass.
This wasn't the first clip to really challenge me and the guys. Divine was almost a nightmare, having to catch bugs and spiders and snakes and having to pull it all together in 2 weeks. But Breakaway really set the bar even higher, I feel. Just the powerful energy of that Victorian weather belt coming in and giving us all kinds of curveballs. We really all wanted the best to come out of this clip. And working with a team of 9-10 people who were all just so committed to making this clip happen. We stayed together, we ate together, we cooked and cleaned, and it was the most challenging clip we've done yet, and I also think it's going to be the best clip we've done yet. It was all the way down, from Dylan just really giving his all to the actor who actually wasn't really acting, he was playing himself, just happened to have a really, a costume that was on point, really bring him to life, and he was just being himself with the staff and being in the element and really bringing the story that I'd written into fruition. So it was quite a beautiful experience in the 5 days that we were down there, and I wouldn't have wanted it to happen any other way. So a big thanks to the crew and everyone involved for making this happen, and I hope you enjoy Breakaway.